This is a reading of Ancestral Affirmation of Our Humanity by yours truly. Great Spirit, champion of the oppressed, defender of the sacred, come now. Ancestors, those loved ones in spirit and frontline spiritual responders that know us with sacred intimacy and purpose, come now. Nature spirits, elemental allies, spiritual supports, come now. You who live with the mother wound, you who live with the father wound, you who live with the aching inner child, you who learned pattern recognition to protect yourself from other people's ways, you who learned that emotional intelligence would cost you your individuality as a child, you who learned to expect punishment, criticism, and mistreatment, you who live with spiritual and emotional hauntings. You who were taught that the conditions of your life were your fault and not manufactured by the state, empire, and the systemic plots set against children of the oppressed preceding their birth. You who live with ancestral spirits who cry out to be elevated. You who live with sensitivities beyond the body and this realm. You who survived the traumas and the aftermath. You who are still surviving and surviving and surviving again. You who they hated to see coming. You who live with insecurity. You who live with ailments. You who live with shame and fear. You who live with rage, anger, and grief. You who live with their grievances. You who live with a broken and contrite heart. You who live with separation, distance, and wounds around connection. You who live with wounds around family, community, and cultural inheritances. You who were parentified as a child. You who did not have your needs met fully. You who were socially, emotionally, and spiritually neglected. You who were not protected and kept safe. You who are living with dreams, prayers, and petitions yet manifest. You who live with the secrets of the line and the burdens of the lineage. You who they perceive to be too much, too honest, too bold, too bright, too loud, too gay, too queer, too eccentric, too deviant, too rebellious, too opinionated, too risky, too poor, too disabled, too creative, too resistant, too demanding, too black, too spirited, too indigenous, too authentic, too courageous, too resourceful, too many things for them to manage. Their capacities, projections, and opinions are not your portion. May enough-ness be a balm of self-acceptance. May the ancestors affirm your humanity. May the ancestors affirm our humanity. We affirm our humanity. What must return to Great Spirit and the ancestors to be held and tended? What must return for the land to be transmuted? What must be returned to sender departing from you never to return again? What must return to the water flowing away as you honor tears as libations, allowing them to bless and purify the earth that the ancestors and divine chose just for you? Can you see yourself through a lens of ancestral love and pride? We hoped you might be. We hope that you might be you, they say. We imagine that you might become, they say. We fought that you might live, they say. We did not give up that you might find strength, they say. You, as in the past, present, and future versions of yourself. You, as in the circle that cannot be broken. Gather your whole self. Release insecurities around who you are and have been, who you will be, your body, your gifts, your talents, your expressions, your offerings, your self-knowing. May you be free in your whole self. May we be free in our whole selves. May you feel the gentle release of pressure from your heart space and spirit as every version of you is united in this moment. Gather us whole, Great Spirit. We are the ancestral body. We know that intergenerational trauma is the war cry of the lineage. Help us to tend to our shared purposes, resolutions, and freedom dreams. May all external and internal wars cease. May our siblings and kinfolk across the pond, across the way, the fake borders, across state lines, across the way, be free. May our siblings and kinfolk be free. May our ancestral networks of care and divine interventions be fortified and strengthened. May we be ancestral business. May the tools, strategies, and resources of the ancestors who love and cherish us sustain us in what's present and forthcoming. May we rest assured in the invisible network of supports that include the ancient ones and ancestors of all directions. May the ancestors smile upon this moment in affirmation of their unwavering love for you, for us, for we who be, their brilliance, their power, their gifts and talents, their strongest prayers incarnate. May they speak life through the gentle whispers of our own reflections. As we see ourselves, whole people, inherently worthy of the call to be ourselves, as we represent the harvest of our kindreds in spirit and in truth, and so it is, and so we be. Thank you for allowing me to share this.